But I did want to comment. I don't know how people feel about this, but I can imagine someone out there is, villainizing him for the way that he handled the situation and maybe not telling her right away, or in the fact that he kind of hid some things. And I really empathize with him. I just still think that he's just doing the best that he can and the best way that he knows how, and thought that maybe would have been good for her. Or
Right.
not ready to, quite face it and bring it back up himself, too.
Ready?
Ready.
Ready.
Hello and welcome. My name is Nick Flip. I'm a composer and a vocalist, and this is...
Sammy Copes. I'm a psychiatric nurse practitioner giving my mental health take on Next to Normal.
Yes, and this is part number 8. So if you haven't seen parts 1 through 7, you should check them out. It's really interesting. But if you like the content so far and you're joining us for all these episodes, then you should hit a like on the video, because that helps with the algorithm. Or the... and Alphaba. And also, if you really like the content, you should sub.
Alphaba next.
Alphaba's next, that's true. Hit a sub on the video, on the channel, so you can see our next react as well. And if you really like the content, you should check out the Patreon, because all of this started because the patrons said, we're going to vote for this one. And this is the one that we've been reacting to for 2 full reacts. So if you want that next react to happen, and she loves Wicked, maybe we can see her reaction of that. Anyway, if you like that sort of content, you should check out the Patreon as well and vote for what we react to next. All right! And also on the Patreon, by the way, we have unedited footage if things need to be edited. So just letting you know that. All right, let's get into part number 8. Are you ready?
Ready.
Ready! Let's do it. Yep, and we just saw that the doctor didn't know that she wasn't aware of her dead son. One thing I wanted to just note, she has not at any point since after the ECT looked happy. Like there was moments in the beginning of the show, even though she was like
She was manic, and that's when she seemed happy.
Well, I know, but like
She's never had a baseline level of happy.
That's right. Yeah, but I feel like even from the ECT, like we haven't seen an actual demonstrated effort to show us, the audience, that she's happy.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're really putting a lot of emphasis, though, on these treatments making people happy.
No. Well, yes, well, I'm not. I think the point of that is to show that what you're talking about with the... We'll just edit this out. But but the highs and lows, it's like I think she feels neutered.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of what I was saying in one of the last videos, where she was losing her memories, is that was a really hard thing for her with some of the other bipolar songs that, she had sung before, about not wanting to lose herself, or, kind of more so the feeling of the highs and things like that. And now I think she's sort of in neutral territory, maybe even more so leaning towards like a depressed kind of phase. But grasping at straws here as to like what's missing. Yeah. And I think that's it. It's not the treatment's fault. It's not anything to do with that. It's just that something's missing and she can't quite tell what it is.
Yeah.
And nothing's going to do anything for that except, trying to get to the bottom of that.
That's what the husband hid.
What is this?
Hey, where'd you get that? It's, it's nothing. It's,
It's just an old music box.
Comment about music. So actually music is really tied to memory, especially like for like people that have like dementia or like memory loss like problems.
Yeah.
Music is like a very like deeper tool than a lot of like name recognition doesn't
Yeah.
work as well as like music recognition.
Yeah, it's kind of one of the last things to go. Like, people will still recognize
Isn't that
music,
crazy?
or they'll tie like whatever emotions they had to a certain song and things, even if they can't necessarily like remember any of the memories, the actual memories tied to the song, but like the feeling is there. And there is such thing as like music therapy and things too. I think music is hugely powerful.
Yeah.
It really, like, it just affects so many different areas of the brain.
It's just crazy, like, because I used to run a adult like community choir, and a lot of them were older, and many of them would comment to me about like, I remember when I first listened to this song when I was
Yeah.
blah blah blah. It could be as young as like 5 or 7, and they would comment like vividly
Yeah.
what happened. And I'm sure a lot of people, like, even for this show or like old music, can remember exactly where you were when you like heard some of
yeah.
your favorite music.
Just like creates core memories.
Isn't that
Even
crazy?
like for myself, even, you know, in like random day-to-day things that maybe I'm like super forgetful or whatever, but then, you know, classic millennials 2000s music comes on and I'm singing every lyric like it was yesterday.
It's
like
true.
even that
Where
part,
are you? It just doesn't stop.
even that part of like music and memory and lyrics is really interesting too.
It's nothing. It's just an old music box.
Ugh, I just like see him crumbling here too, like just.
We used to play it for the baby.
Yeah.
Sometimes it helped him sleep.
Diana.
Him.
Such good acting.
Yeah.
We did have a boy.
Diana, you shouldn't.
We were still living downtown.
It's not a good idea.
My black coat thrown over my blue nightgown. You drove too fast. The lights of the city flew past.
Mm.
Please don't.
How could I ever forget? Outside the morning was cool and wet. He had such chills, but still he lay there so still. And just 8 months old. So cold.
I just want to show you this. Like, did you hear when she remembered the dissonant memories? You can hear it in the music. If you just, because it's such so basic. It's a basic song, and then you hear when she remembers the pain.
Please don't.
How could
Normal.
I ever forget?
Turn.
Outside the morning was cool.
And now it gets a little bit weird.
He had such chills.
Gets even weirder.
Still, he lay there so
I did not
Disgusting.
hear that actually.
and just 8 months old. So cold.
The bells helped paint the picture of cold. Ah, chills.
We ran him inside. Lost, worrying, wondering. That hospital room. That blue. How could I ever forget?
Could I ever fall?
Screaming at doctors, alarmed, upset. They said
Diana,
too
don't.
late. They
The
never
babies
said
will help
we were
on
too
it.
late. But I was a child.
Years ago.
Raising a
So
child.
much we could not know.
Those weeks full of joy. Then a moment of dread. Someone simply said, child is.
How could I ever forget?
How could I ever forget?
This was the moment my life was set.
The
The day that I lost you.
It's clear as the day we met. How could I ever forget?
Why would you want to remember things that hurt?
The interesting thing is that I think he's singing about Diana while she's singing about their son, because this changed everything for their relationship after it changed everything for her. Not to say that he wasn't grieving too, but I just think he was more ready maybe to move forward, or has been more ready. And that's hard sticking with someone who's still kind of lost in the past and the grief. But I did want to comment. I don't know how people feel about this, but I can imagine someone out there is, villainizing him for the way that he handled the situation, and maybe not telling her right away, or in the fact that he kind of hid some things. And I really empathize with him. I just still think that he's just doing the best that he can and the best way that he knows how, and thought that maybe would have been good for her. Or
Right.
not ready to, quite face it and bring it back up himself, too.
Yeah, and which is why your job is really important,
Yeah.
to facilitate those conversations in a lot of times a safe way.
Yeah.
Especially because sometimes family members, obviously completely untrained, might not know what to do
Yeah.
in that situation.
Absolutely. And I mean, there's no handbook out there for grief either, and
Yeah.
the loss of a child, which, like I commented on before, is like just one of the most, abnormal things that should ever happen in the normal human way of things, right? So it's hard to navigate, and it's hard to know what the right thing to do is, and there really is no right thing in a handbook or whatever, because it's going to be different for every family and every single person too. So.
And to validate what you said, just look at intention of where they're looking. This is a comment someone put.
Yeah.
And they're unison, by the way.
It's clear as the
He's looking at her.
Yeah,
She's looking
exactly.
up. Yeah. So that's an important note. And also the unison, they're singing the same exact thing because they're agreeing on.
Right.
They both feel the same exact way, but the intention is who they're talking about.
Yeah.
So just, again, beautiful writing. I love it when the composer brings back themes but recontextualizes them. Like, oh, you didn't think about it that way.
Right.
And then shows you what way they want you to think about it. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Why would you want to remember the things that hurt you?
That hit me so hard, by the way, that song.
Yeah.
That one hurt me.
remember everything, Dan. How did he die?
He was sick.
With what? Why wasn't he treated? What was wrong?
Something the doctor saw and missed. The clinic, the ER, each specialist. They said babies cry, allergies, gas, who knows why. And I was a child, raising a child. Stayed up all night. Most nights you slept at his side. And still, he just cried. And cried.
He was a baby when he died, but I remember him older.
No, he was a baby. We should call Dr. Madden.
Why would we call Dr. Madden? I'm trying to make sense of this. God, what was his name? remember you ever saying his name. Why is that?
Diana,
What was his name? Tell me.
it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Gonna go back to the doctor because we caught it just in time.
His
We'll take the
name.
pills and pay the bills. We'll do more ECT.
Our son.
It's gonna be good, Josie.
What was his name?
It's gonna be good, Josie.
What was his name?
It's
What
gonna
was
be
his
good.
name? What was his name? What was his? What was his? What was his? What was his? What was his name? Name. What was his name? What was his name? No! Just
Natalie!
Why stay? Why stay? So steadfast and stolid, and stoic and solid, for day after every day. Why stay? Why stay? Why not simply give in and get on with living? 'Cause everyone knows you tried, but somehow something died on the way. So tell me why you stay, why stay, why stay? Enduring and coping and hurting and hoping for day after fucking day. Why stay, why stay? Why not simply end it? We all come.
I have to stop. We have to talk about that. How you feeling?
It goes back to what we were saying before, that they both, Natalie and Diana, are living in their chaos with partners that are just trying to do their best and being there for them. But it's hard for everyone. I just kind of found myself thinking, like, just trying to put, yourself in each person's shoes, and there's no good answer.
What do you think of Dan's moment?
With what?
Like, slammed the thing down on the ground, frustration.
Oh, yeah. Pent up frustration.
Yeah.
Feeling like, I can imagine he felt like he was kind of slowly trying to put the pieces back together and sort of like orchestrating the memories and finally having control of things, after a long time, and maybe having hope for things getting better. And now, kind of backsliding and losing control of that again. And just, an out of control moment.
For me, it makes me think about, like, for when you work with your patients, you see during that 30-minute time that you see them, blah, 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 but then you wonder, like, sort of what can happen at home.
Oh, totally, yeah.
And then, like, you see that where, like, even Dan was like, let's get another professional on this. Let's get your doctor to help us facilitate this conversation, which I at the time thought was a great call.
No, I did not like that, actually.
Really? Well, I didn't like what he said after that.
He ran to that so fast because he's scared, himself of dealing with this and, the potential consequences and outcomes and things like that. So I didn't like the way he did that, actually.
Yeah, okay. Part of me is like what we talked about before, like, there's no handbook for this, but the closest you're going to get is a mental health professional to be able to help facilitate the conversation.
Yes, and
you don't
while also being a mental health professional, I think it can also be kind of like sort of degrading or just make people feel bad, make people feel crazy when the answer is always like, let's talk to your doctor, let's talk to, your therapist and blah, 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 as opposed to like, you two need to try to figure this out, for yourselves as well, as opposed to just saying like, no, I'm pushing this off to the professionals.
That's true. I can totally see that too. Yeah, it's
a little bit of both.
It's both. It's certainly because even if, like, let's say that you're going through like some sort of tough situation, like even with like a marriage or I don't know, like if you just always instinctually like, okay, we can't talk about this until we get another, then you're also going to create an unhealthy relationship long term. Right,
because it also, like, I can imagine it just makes Diana feel like the problem too, and it's constantly like, if anything is going wrong, it's like, we're not going to address this here, like, let's go talk to your doctor.
Yeah, but I can just see why Dan did that, because he also is I'm worried about what I can do to you right now, because I might break something, I don't want to break it, and he from how much time he spent doing this, like he's nervous.
I know.
It's
like
both.
We said, there's no good answer. I just
that's what I said last time, but now I completely see like how that can. There's two sides to that.
Yeah, Yeah, I think it's
Because
just,
if you focus on her, it's a different side. Just like you
right,
said.
exactly.
Focus on him, it's a different side.
No. That's what I was doing during the song.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like, oh, God, what is it like to be her, and what is it like to be him too?
Yeah, yeah.
And
If
same
you-
same thing here.
with
Like,
her,
what is it like
yeah.
to be Natalie, and what is it like to be Henry? And
yeah.
it's
yeah.
similar, and it's just it just makes me sad that Natalie's like falling into this pattern too.
Yeah, yep, totally. So, like, again, just amazing writing.
Oh yeah, and especially to have them like on the stage,
Yep.
mirrored
Yeah,
with each
yeah.
other too.
Yeah, and look for the unisons again. Something I made a point of, but I never like tried to like tell my audience like look for the unisons. Like they're very intentful.
On the way. So tell me why you stay, why stay, enduring, coping and hurting and hoping for day after fucking day. Why stay, why not simply end it? We all comprehend it, and most of the world will say he's better off that way.
This
To
gives
be
me like
free.
Alanis Morissette vibes.
And maybe so is she.
A promise. A boy says forever. A boy says whatever may come, we'll come through. And
Unison.
who can know how, when all I know now to be true is this promise that
This is where I came around to Henry, like fully on his side. Unison with a
question.
married man.
A boy wonders whether
True.
should two stay together the way that they stay for year after year, for love or for fear. Either way, that's the promise that I made that day. Here's what I said to the girl who was burning so brightly, like the light from Orion above. And still I will search for her nightly. If you see her, please send her my love. And the boy was a boy for all seasons. The boy is lost. That boy is long lost to me now. So the man has forgotten his reasons. The man still remembers his vow.
Oh, I like that. I was just thinking actually that I liked that they were having Dan, well, both of them, but Dan especially sing "The Boy" because he, you know, like from one of the other songs when he was saying "I was a child raising a child," you know, they were so young when they got together, but still that like that vow and promise is so important to him and so meaningful, you know, and so now they're transforming that to the man. And interesting though that Henry was just kind of
Yeah, again, this is where I came
not
around
singing
for Henry.
that, but he wasn't
Yeah,
singing
because
the
he
man
can't.
line because he's not yet.
He's not.
So that
but,
was cool.
yeah, so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, that's where I came around on Henry because to even emulate the words of sort of like as soon as you hit that marriedhood of sort of giving your vow to someone else, like that's a huge commitment, and
Yeah.
getting there is not something that should be treated lightly. And for Henry to sort of be at that stage, like he's sort of putting himself
Yeah.
in that.
He's a good boy.
Yeah, this is where I was like, all right, he's at least trying, you know,
Yes.
even if it started off and he wasn't the best
Yeah.
influence.
A promise. A man says forever. A man says I'll never regret or let you. The promise that I made to stay, and I stayed true. Knowing one day we'd remember that joy. You'd remember that girl, I'd remember that boy. Until we do the promise I made, I'll make it brand new. The promise that I made to you.
I am more than memory. I am what might be. I am mystery.
I bet you guys want to see the next episode,
Oh, I want to see the next episode.
but we have to end it right now. Oh, yes, she does. Folks, thank you so much for watching. It's getting very crazy, huh?
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of goes one after the other after this. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the react so far. I know we have. If you can hit a like on the video if you haven't already, and hit a sub on the video if you can. And we'll see you in the next one. Get excited for my project, Gilgamesh the Musical. A lot of info is coming out about it, and it's hopefully going to be something that you enjoy. With that, and Spotify and Kickstarter is where it's going to be predominantly if you want to really support. But with that in mind, we're going to end this react now. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll catch you on
On the flip side. Bye.
You're getting it. And a huge thank you to all of my patrons. All of you make this possible. I appreciate all the support.
The flip, the flop, the flippity flip, the flipsy T, Flippinator. You got the flip on the left, you got the flip on the right. That's a flip, man. The flip, the flop, the flippity flip, the flipsy T, Flippinator.